welcome to another episode of Turning Catan into Diamonds, a branded episode of Turning Coal into Diamonds. I'm super excited to have this episode because not only do we get to talk about Catan, we get to have some Catan beer. So, special thanks to Catan and Champion Beer for making it all happen. But of course, quote me, make sure to get one of the best games in the world at catanshop.com. Use code TCID to get 10% off the base game. We have to do a special shout out to our guest, Hunter Smith with Champion Beer, and their special We Built This City beer that just came out December 3rd. And a special shout out to the Waterboys who they partnered with. So a portion of all of the proceeds will go to the Waterboys. And we have Beau Allen, professional NFL player and philanthropist with the Waterboys here. I'm a little salty, Sally, about having him on the podcast because he definitely whooped my butt in the last game we played. But, you know, it's got to happen sometimes, right? But make sure you tune into this episode because it's definitely a juicy one.
I'm Hunter Smith. I'm the founder and head brewer of Champion Brewing Company in Charlottesville, Virginia.
And I am Beau Allen.
There you go.
Sorry, I had to grab my beer here. There we go.
Yes. Hunter, do you have your beers?
Right here.
Oh, yes. So we might as well, I guess, do like an initial cheers or toast or whatever, popping it open.
Here, yeah.
Oh, I got a little on the computer. It's good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good for the computer. It makes it run better.
Here we go.
Works for me.
So right away, I have to ask, especially Hunter, right? Like, how did you guys get involved with Catan? How did that happen?
So it's kind of crazy. I've been a fan for a while, obviously. But it just so happens the CEO of Catan Studio lives here in Charlottesville.
Okay, yeah.
So we had this sort of like crazy small town interaction where, you know, they've got this amazing game brand and people play at the tap room at our, you know, at our brewery all the time.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I learned about it from regulars that way, where, you know, we had some board games and people were like, you've got to have like at least 3 or 4 Catan games in the brewery or you're slacking. So
yes.
So I learned that way via some regulars, and then I came to know Pete, who's the CEO of Catan Studio and a friend, and we thought, man, this would be really cool if we had an opportunity to make, you know, Catan beer. And when we reached out to those guys, then they said, well, yeah, but we don't want you to pay us a royalty when we want to do a, you know, some sort of cool collaboration. That's how we got Waterboys involved.
Awesome. And Beau, you've been a fan of Catan, it sounds like. Well, we played, so I kind of know this.
Right.
But you're also a philanthropist with the Waterboys as well.
Yeah, so I'm also a fan of beer too.
Don't get it twisted.
Yeah. But yeah, so I've been a water boy, I guess, for a couple of years. I got involved with Chris. Chris and I played in Philadelphia together, where we won a Super Bowl, which is great. But more importantly to this podcast, he Water Boys and their efforts, and we climbed Mount Kilimanjaro together as, you know, part of a team for you know, to raise water for to create deep bore wells in sub-Saharan Africa. That was great. And yeah, and I love Catan too. So what a fun you know, collaboration.
Yeah, totally. And do you guys remember your first Catan game?
Ooh. I don't know about that. I was trying to think, because I've introduced Catan to a couple of different people, and
yeah,
I'm trying to think how I got involved. I'll have to ask. I play a lot with my sister, so I gotta ask her and see if she can remember. But I think it's been a long time. I'm not sure how we originally got involved.
How about you?
Yeah, mine would have been at the brewery for sure.
Got it.
Sitting in with some friends and kind of like just grabbing a beer and passing through and sitting down and going like, "What are you guys doing?"
Yeah,
it was a big time. Yeah, I was a big time, you know, nerd in high school and played a lot of tabletop strategy games, and I hadn't seen Catan before. So I was, you know, when you see like 6 people really passionate about something around the table, it's like, all right, what's going on?
Right, and then I remember my first game of Catan Universe vividly though.
Same.
It's so crazy that Hunter, did you play Catan Universe before we had played online?
Just on the Oculus.
Just on the Oculus. Oh, wow. Okay. So it's crazy that you guys, I'm surprised that, especially during COVID, that's when I got really big into Catan Universe. But I fell in love with it just because I hate setting up the board. I shouldn't say I hate it, but I play Seafarers and City of Knights. And so that one just takes a little bit more time to set up the game. So online has just always been my go-to.
Yeah, I played a lot over the weekend, actually. So I was playing. It was fun because my girlfriend's like, what are you doing? And I was playing on my computer, and then I was messing around my iPad too, playing all the different scenarios and stuff. You can play against all the different AIs and put them at super master, and then
really?
Yeah.
Totally. Oh, cool. I haven't messed with that yet.
So you were playing just against the AIs this weekend?
I was, because I was trying to I wanted to make sure I had it down before I went into the live multiplayer. You know what I mean? I didn't want to just jump into
trash in public.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your first game online then, Beau, because I remember it vividly. I try to forget about it.
I mean, it was one of those things where I think I really cared about winning. Kelly, I brought Kelly twice just to try to get a specific resource. She kept putting the Rob around the 12,
he was playing really nice, actually.
He was a good sport about it, yeah. And then whatever, I like to win.
So I actually have some questions here. One of them is specifically, do you have any Catan enemies, people that are so good that you have to beat, or do you just want to win every game? That's it.
I mean, like I said, I play with my sister a lot, and we get really into it, and all sorts of board games, but probably Catan first and foremost. And I mentioned this when we were playing the other day, but one time it got pretty heated, it got pretty bad, and I had to buy her a edible arrangement. My mom was not very happy with me.
That's hilarious. Do you remember?
I want to know how bad it got. You said something that required.
I know, that's what I'm saying. What happened? Did you just rob her repeatedly?
I can't remember what exactly happened, to be honest with you. That's probably a good thing.
You just flip the board. Do one of these, just flip the board and walk out.
Yeah,
that's funny. So I guess this is a good question for you, because we've actually talked about it with other competitive players, especially I had the Canadian national champion. Do you see a relationship or a correlation with sports and Catan, or just any game, I guess, board games?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I played for the Bucks. I have a place in Tampa. That's where I am now. And we had a group that would play Catan semi-regularly, maybe every other week or so. And we would get really, really into it, competitive guys. I definitely think, I think people that are competitive, seek out things like, football and Catan and, intense video games. And, whether my dad, for example, he loves board games, and he still plays hockey, and he's in his 60s.
Oh, wow.
Things like that,
That's wild. Are you a big sports fan too, Hunter?
Since I was a little kid, I grew up in a lacrosse family, but I played 3 sports all through high school, and and then moved to Boston, became a big fan. So
sick.
Had fun watching the
sports fans in Boston, I've heard.
Yeah,
what was that?
It's a little contagious. There was an interesting game the other night involving a baseball and Boston sports.
Oh yeah, Red Sox.
Yeah.
I
was watching with one of my best friends that's a Yankee fan, so it was fun.
Oh, I'm sure it was fun for one of you guys. Can you tell us a little bit about the artwork on the can, and the artists who did it and whatnot?
Yeah, absolutely. So the folks from Electric Design did this for us. They did a rebranding project for us, and then this was their first project after that. So they're out of Bend, Oregon. They've just done this amazing illustration. And it's been really cool because along the way we've had to get approval and feedback from Catan, obviously Catan Studio here in the States, but then Catan GmbH in Germany. So the Teubers, Klaus's sons, they've had graphic input all the way through it. So excuse me, there were a number of iterations. But we knew that like that weed is really kind of one of the most prominent resources and one of the most, like visible references. So we wanted to make sure we got it right out of the gate. And so there were a couple different iterations, but like, the sun is obviously a huge part of the Catan brand, and we wanted to make sure to get that right, but something cool that showed wheat and harvesting the wheat. So that's why you've got the little like water mill there. And that's, especially in the brewing process, that's how you would turn wheat into something you can actually brew with, right? So and then we had a Catan X Champion, like the collab in the bottom here, but you can see where it got replaced with the grain icon instead.
Where's that?
So at the bottom of the front, you see the field harvest wheat ale.
Yeah.
Then you've got like a little bundle of wheat between Catan and Champion
Totally.
there.
Yeah.
Lots of cool little references. You can see on the heading into the description on the sides, you've got the hexes, right? So like,
without a doubt.
I like that. That's cool.
And then of course, right there, you've got the Waterboys logo.
You do.
We got to let the people know where the proceeds are going to.
Can you tell us, because I love the reasoning, like one of the reasons why you guys chose the Waterboys. Can you tell us why?
Yeah, sure. So we started working together probably 4 or 5 years ago. As a Charlottesville business, it made sense to partner up with a Charlottesville athlete and his nonprofit. But one of the main sources of rationale for us was, beer is a luxury product, and it is as important as a business is to me and puts a roof over my kids' head. The reality is that nobody has to have beer. It's a luxury, and the primary component of it is water, and not everybody unfortunately has access to clean water. And so it seemed like a kind of obvious thing, like, hey, if we're using water just to make something luxurious for us to drink and relax, the least we can do is give back and help create a world in which people have better access to water.
Completely. That's so awesome. I love that. That is so sick.
Yeah, the design is awesome too, and obviously everything else behind it makes it even better.
Real
the story behind the beer itself.
Yeah, and I'm really happy with how it turned out too.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's dangerous. It's
I only got a couple left from the original.
I
got mine over the weekend, so I've kind of been working through it, but I've been saving it for the podcast at least.
Yeah.
Well, I got you guys. We can figure something out. Get another care package going.
Yeah, whole pipeline. It's a good thing.
I actually just saw the first label for the next beer today.
Oh, really? Awesome.
Yeah, so that's going to be the beer based on ore.
Right. Yeah. What's that one gonna kind of? You don't have to give it away too much with spoilers, but what kind of beer is it?
So it's going to be a Schwartz beer, which is a black lager. So it'll be like a dark, roasty, flavorful thing. Just if you think about like the inside, the mountain mining and stuff like that. But it'll also be a super refreshing beer for like, you think at the end of the day, hard work. So yeah, super flavorful black lager. And then we're going to call it Built This City because,
oh my gosh.
We built this city on wheat and ore.
Exactly.
That's so sick. I love that. That's right around my birthday. So I can't wait for that for like,
perfect.
Actually.
Yeah.
So what are your guys' favorite strategies to win Catan?
Cool. Are you doing some scouting here or what? I want to get
Yeah, I'm taking notes, bro.
I'll take this one if you don't mind. So I think it's fun sometimes to you got to mess around, right? Like I think it's fun when I've been playing on the Catan universe because the games are so fast, like it's not what I've been doing lately is just you got to farm a port, man. With the when you're playing like cities and nights, just try to get if you can get a brick or a hay port, we can put your city on it because that's fun too. But the commodity cards in cities and nights are my favorite. Like when you upgrade your city, and you get the not the Devo card, but the like the progress card.
Oh yeah, like the
most fun. You can really screw some people over.
yeah. So I feel like City of Nights is the one to like really ruin friendships.
Yeah,
like, that one's the one like
when you get the inventor progress card and like someone's got everything built up on like a 9 or a 5, and then
Yeah.
you swap for an 11 or something. It's brutal.
That's brutal.
Yeah, that's real. So would you say A City of Night's your favorite?
It's so fun to play in Catan Universe because there's no setup like you were talking about. So I've been crushing all the different scenarios, and the ones with the fog where you turn it,
Yeah.
Wait, I haven't seen that. What's that like?
It's cool. So I hadn't played that until Catan Universe. Like the middle of the board on some of them are like there's areas of the board where the tiles are flipped over, and when you reach them on a ship, then you get the resource of the tile that's there. But sometimes like they flip it over and it's a desert or it's another piece of the sea.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It's an added element to the game. That's pretty cool.
So it's kind of like a discovery piece of it too.
Yeah, exactly. It's super sick.
Yeah, and you don't have to set it up. It's great.
I know I've got young kids and a cat, and every time like we try to do a long setup, we're like, man, if we have to come back to this, I have to like take pictures.
The road. Yeah, exactly.
All right, this is exactly how it was.
Yeah. What's your favorite version then, Hunter?
I'm a big fan of vanilla. Like I just love the standard basic game. It's just so kind of pure.
Yeah.
And I tend to be a longest road guy. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a linear progress or the building aspect of it.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of energy, but when you got the longest road and you see all your pieces snaking across the board, it's a good feeling.
Exactly.
Power move.
Exactly. That's kind of like the flex. It's kind of like the flex version. Like,
flex the road.
look at me in my bigger piece. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I love that.
Maybe it's compensation. I don't know.
That's funny. And so what's your favorite dev card?
Oh, it's gotta be the Monopoly.
Well, okay, I'm glad you said the Monopoly because I usually say what's your favorite dev card besides a victory point. So I'm glad you didn't say victory point. No, but the Monopoly.
Sometimes you get a victory point early and you're like, man,
dude, yes.
You're sitting on it and you're like, bro, like it's great, like it'll be great later, but I need something now,
That was me last game. My first dev card, like second turn, was a victory point, and I was like, yeah, okay, I love a victory point, but like a good like Monopoly or like just some road pieces right now, You get
a road builder for your first one. That's
really great. Exactly. That's what I was like. Okay.
That's how you won last time, Beau.
Oh no, out of nowhere, road builder. Right? Yeah, it's fun. What's your favorite? We call them Devo cards.
I like that though. I think that's sick.
Devo cards.
Nice.
What's my favorite Devo card?
Yeah.
I would probably say either the Monopoly or the road building card. Just because it's like it's easy resources, especially like for me, like it's just like right away to a quick settlement, if you can branch off. But the Monopoly, if you play your card right and you really like, some people just got some dope ore or some dope wheat. Oh,
wreck a game. Person to kind of like ask around, like, hey, you got any wood? And like, yeah. Like, I don't want to trade it to you. Like, bam.
Yeah.
The
gnarliest.
Floating some soft trades, like fake trades, like
thought, bam.
Yeah. The gnarliest is playing the Monopoly, like doing a trade and then playing the Monopoly card.
Yeah, get your
dirty.
That's it's dirty, but
it's throwing pieces. I mean, how'd you get into doing a podcast about Catan, right? Like,
yeah.
So
that takes some commitment. That's like
it's true. It's true. So I mean, I fell into podcasting last year. Shout out to John Lee Brody, who invited me onto his live streams on Gaghead, where we played Catan. So it all started from there. And then Guido and I just started talking. Guido Toiber, cheers to that man too.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's super sick.
Really cool on that.
Yeah. He was on my podcast originally. It's one of those things where, once again, you just start talking to people, and I asked, like, hey, would you be down to do a podcast about Catan and stuff like that? And he was down, and Catan Studios was down, and here we are. I mean, we just like you, we had to go through the process with the art and stuff like that. Make sure the sun is in quality shape.
Yeah.
But
do not block the sun.
But yeah, I've played Catan for a decade now. Like, it was actually a gift to me in like 2011, 2012, and I've been playing like super hardcore since.
Nice. I'm gonna ask my sister. I want to figure out how we got into it, because we kind of we've been playing for so long.
It's a crazy game. Like, I mean, I was a Monopoly dude. I hate bringing it up because I feel like so many people do the comparison, but I was a Monopoly dude. Like, I used to.
No, same.
Like, I was like, if we play a game, you have to be here for the full 6 hours. If the game is 6 hours, you got to be down. You got to be down.
Yeah.
And
well, that's what's great about Catan, is because you can get in and out in less than an hour, but it's just as fun, competitive, and it's a great game for like at a beach house, or whatever, like just hanging out with family.
And there's growing up, we didn't have we didn't have internet up there. There wasn't any phone service, which is kind of great in hindsight.
Yeah.
But we had a ton of board games, ton of card games, ton of puzzles. We actually played a lot of Risk.
okay.
Nice.
And then we got into Catan kind of from there, I think. So,
is there a place that you guys have not played Catan that you wish that you played Catan?
Ooh. Over at your place, man. Come on.
Do it, Brody. I would love to whip in person.
Got the home field advantage,
That's good. That's good. Yeah, we'll have to set up a game at Chris's house.
Yeah, dude, that would be sick.
That would be fun. He's got a sweet spot in Seaville.
It's true. In fact, my answer to that is Catan Studio. So I meet with Pete pretty regularly.
Oh shit.
In his studio, where it's like surrounded by all the games, but we're usually having work meetings, so we've never actually played there. But like that would seem like the most meta place to.
That would be sick.
Be playing, but it's cool. He's got like every iteration.
Yeah.
Ever, so it's just kind of like it's almost like a Catan museum. So that would be my answer. And I imagine he could beat us pretty bad.
You know what's funny? Everybody who you would think like that's attached to Catan Studios, every one of them says that they're not good at the game, and it's all lies. Don't ever let them.
I'd say that's bullshit.
Don't ever be fooled.
Company-wide tournament or something. That
would be sick.
Stakes in house.
You could tell that Kelly and Guido knew what to do, right? Like they knew what they're doing.
I feel like they've already they put in their competitive time already, so they're just let. Because they do work, but they don't do it they're not playing hardcore either. Like, Kelly's putting it on the 12. Kelly, why are you putting it on the damn 12 at this time?
Kelly was just trying to...
Beau's got 8 points, Kelly. Why are you putting it on the 12?
It's a fair game, so they just want everyone to have fun, so it's like they don't want to bring us in and then crush us.
No.
That's true. They're trying to facilitate how to
promote their
it's
product.
a fun thing to do, yeah.
I brought those assholes brought me on for their game and then beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
15 minutes, it's over. What?
Sorry, I don't know. I'll stop swearing so much on my family.
Oh no, we have a sheep bleep, so you're good.
Is it bad?
Yeah, it's a good bat right over it.
That's awesome. We had a big sheep come in for the beer release. It was mailed to us from where Kelly is, and we named it the Brew U.
Oh, we love.
Yeah, it's fun.
People will get it.
I hope so. And when you're drinking beers, the names get kind of corny, but
yeah, exactly. Did you guys get through your first one at least? I don't think we're gonna get through more than one, really. So
I'm mostly like through it.
Yeah, I'm about getting there.
Let me see if I have any. So how did you get into beer, lastly, Hunter? Tell us about that.
Oh,
not many people have a brewery.
Like most people, through drinking it. I got so it's funny. So in between summers in between years in college, a buddy of mine, his dad was like sort of an OG beer guy, so we'd be like partying in the summer and drinking like Natty Light and playing yard games and stuff. And every now and then he'd be like, guys, try this, and pass us like a Dogfish Head 90-minute or a Arrogant Bastard or a Rogue Dead Guy or something like that. We're like, whoa, what the are we drinking? Like, this is amazing. This, tastes incredible. It gets you twice as, bang for your buck.
Yeah.
So that I was probably like 20 when I started really getting into craft beer, and like that was when I still had to drive like 20 miles to go to a wine shop to find like specialty beer, and it was probably six months old at the time. But yeah, I mean, right as I was like dropping out of college when I was like 21 or so, we had this like, man, I want to start a brewery idea. But I was also playing music and bartending at the time, and I never really had like a clear path towards it. But it just kind of kept kicking around my mind. So I was just going to like every beer tasting and every bottle shop in town and just trying to learn and absorb as much as I could, which naturally involves drinking a lot. But just slowly like writing a business plan, and like I took some community college courses around here where the local brewers actually had a community college brewing program.
Oh wow, sick.
Which is really cool. We've grown it into a certificate program now.
Oh wow.
So I did that circuit and then shadowed a couple of brewers here locally until I kept trying to like put a roadblock in front of myself, like something I was going to fail at and make me stop. And then went on to like formal fermentation science brewing school. And it just kind of I kept being able to figure it out. But homebrewing is what really did it for me. I was like, all right, let's learn the science and the business behind it. But once we started making beer at home that I thought was, at least kind of as good as what I could buy, then that was really the magic. Like, I want to do this all the time.
That's sick. And it's good, guys.
Thanks.
I don't have a lot.
Damn good.
It's good.
I don't get to brew these days anymore. I have to work on the business rather than in the business. But we've got a really talented team of folks that write recipes and get in there and do the hard work and the cleaning and the heavy lifting. So cheers to those guys, because it's awesome.
Cheers to that. Yes. Cheers to the Waterboys too. You're gonna say something?
Found out about our existing partnership with Waterboys, and said, hey, we want to make sure that you send our royalty to Waterboys. I just thought that's really cool.
Yeah.
It was very selfless of them to not only allow us to be a brand partner with them and this huge brand that they've got, but to want to see the commercial proceeds go to charity. It's just super cool, and it just speaks to the character of the Toybers and the brand that they've built.
Totally. One of the things that I would say, especially just coming out of 2020 being in the state that it was such a great continuation to be connected with Catan and just find out like just how lovely of a company it is, and the studios and everybody that's connected to it. Pete, Kelly, Stephanie, just everybody there has been nothing but kind and warm-hearted people.
It's just a good thing. That's it's the beginning and end of it. It's for fun, and they want to do a good thing. It's
exactly.
Yeah, beer, Catan, and Waterboys, all good things. Let's put it all
True. All happy, positive stuff.
Yeah. So the last question I always ask everybody that's on the podcast though is, for anybody listening or watching who hasn't played Catan yet, why should they?
Ooh, it's fun. It's fun. It's a great way to get together with some friends, talk some play, and just, fellowship. It's good.
It's true.
You wanna play more. At first, you might be a little bit confused, but you'll get the hang of it. It's a really great game.
I really enjoyed playing Catan Junior as a chance to get my kids into board games. Because like to your point, Gerard, like they'll fall out of Monopoly. They'll like, you can't keep them engaged in some of the longer stuff. And this is something that they got really into, and it was allowed for them a way for me to bring them into my world a little bit. So super fun, got to do it, but it's a great way to spend time with family too. And connect, talk a little shit, and doesn't take all night long.
Exactly. And you can have a few brewskis with it too.
Just can't let down your guard.
No, that's that's big facts. But never.
Or Beau will come road building right on your ass.
Dude, I can't talk about it anymore. Honestly, it was a good game though. It was a good game. Even like Kelly was a little quiet, but when it turned over the points and stuff, she was pretty close too.
Yep.
Yeah. She's sneaky.
Yeah. It's always what is it? It's like quiet but deadly, they say.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you guys for like making the time to come back again. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I can't wait for the next 5.
Yeah, I'm
It's
looking
gonna be
forward to we built this city.
Yeah,
That's right.
right?
Yeah, it's
It'll be
awesome.
fun. We'll get you guys to re-up.
Let's go. Cool.
And the
Thanks a
Butter
lot. I
King,
appreciate it.
if you're down for a rematch, I'm here for it.
Know where to find me. I'll see you on universe.
On the fields.
Love it.
Fields,
Love it.
yeah. You guys
All right.
take care. This was really fun. Thanks for thanks for everything. It was a
No,
lot.
appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Next